One of the greatest challenges facing the world today is the increasing rise of bacteria resistant to antibiotics, meaning that even the most common infections could become impossible to treat, and taking us into what is being known as a post-antibiotic era. I'm Dr. Joff Lacey, and I'm here in Norway to join the first part of a worldwide expedition on the hunt for new antibiotics. The Pharmacy Project is a collaboration between scientists from across the world. The goal is to collect marine organisms from some of the hottest, deepest and coldest places on the planet, which have never been searched before. The hope is to create vital new drugs and antibiotics from them, and the project starts here, in the fjords of Norway. Hans, can you explain to me, why is there a need to find new antibiotics?
It's been in use since the war, 70 years ago, and already a lot of people are immune to penicillin or the different antibiotics we have. More and more people die at hospitals because of infections.
Antibiotics work by killing or preventing growth of bacteria by breaking down the cell walls or interfering with protein synthesis. But over time, bacteria can build a natural resistance. This is drastically accelerated when they are misused, such as when we don't finish our prescription. The surviving bacteria will then reproduce with inbuilt resistance to that antibiotic.
Hans's hope is that the incredible marine life here will provide solutions to this problem.
Marine organisms, they have means of repairing wounds, like getting rid of infections.
So if we can isolate the natural antibiotics that they produce, we can maybe produce a new antibiotic for human use.
Yeah, it's a long process and it takes many years, but it must be done.
The team on board the Helmer Hansen will be trawling organisms from the bottom of the sea, as well as sending out dive teams to hand-pick marine life from the sea floor. 80 miles north of the Arctic Circle, marine life that can survive under these conditions will hopefully have the right properties to become the basis of new antibiotics. Why do you think this environment seems to be the key to find these new molecules?
Northern environments have a highly shifting environment and it can be extreme. These northern organisms and also these Arctic organisms, extremophiles as we call them, can have through evolution adapted special mechanisms that organisms further south don't have. You have large amounts of organisms, high diversity. They must compete for space. So they can compete, for example, by producing deterrence chemicals to frighten off other species.
So is that their samples? So can we take these back to the boat and have a look at them? Closer look. At this time of year, this part of Norway doesn't get dark, meaning that for 3 weeks the team will be working for 24 hours a day.
Ready?
Espen, that's my name. Once the organisms are collected, the team in the onboard lab arrange them into species ready to be sent ashore.
See what we got. Wow. So there's some interesting stuff. To start with, we have some hydroids. It's kind of a multi-dimensional space which harbors lots of life.
Are you going to need to separate everything out?
Yeah, it's really tedious work.
That's going to say
and here we also have some nudibranchs. If you touch this with your bare hands, you can actually get blisters from it.
Really?
Yeah.
So these guys must produce a lot of interesting chemicals as well then?
Maybe. So we just put everything on the table. You take the poisonous
I'll
ones.
take the poisonous. Thank you. You can tell I'm the new guy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Some nice sea stars. So now you have the time-consuming work here with separating them, and I will take the petri dishes in to do the fine work in the dry lab.
Wow. With the microscope?
Yeah.
So in there somewhere could be an organism that's producing the next antibiotic. Maybe this Petri dish has it.
Let's hope so.
The species are taken to the state-of-the-art lab at the University of Tromsø. Hello, hi Chrissy, hi, I'm Joff, hi, thank you.
As you can see, this is a sea star. So Evaldus, what he's doing now is kind of cutting up.
So you're simply just cutting up the starfish?
Yes.
Okay.
Then we want to freeze-dry the sample. So this is what it ends, the sea star ends up
So
like
this is the starfish ground up into a powder?
Yes.
Lovely,
Yeah.
okay. Microorganisms such as plankton, which are also collected on the boat, need to be cultivated in the lab to create enough quantities to analyse. So what do we have here?
This is the step where we have put in alcohol, ethanol, or another chemical and extracted, as I said, the good stuff, the molecules, so that we end up with a pure raw extract. So the sea star is now in a tube.
Inside one of these test tubes could be a new drug, a new antibiotic.
A really blockbuster, the thing that we need.
So Trond, what are we going to do next with these samples?
No, we're going to, what we say, screen them. That we want to find out what kind of bioactivities we have in these samples. But this is a robot which actually does all the screening. Now you see bacteria in one of them solution and then some of the extract in the other one. So now it's sort of mixing them.
And so if you find that one of those samples has killed the bacteria on your Petri dish, what's the next stage? What do you do?
Well, the next thing is that to find out which of the molecules are actually the active one against the bacteria.
Finding the active molecule is a painstaking process, and even when one is found, the scientists have to make sure it isn't an existing antibiotic. Trond, for you, what is the dream? What do you hope to come out of this whole process?
Well, that we can come up with some new molecules active against bacteria. But more and more bacteria are developed resistance ability, and that's a big challenge for the whole world.
For the world, yeah.